Good morning or good evening, yeah. We'll go with good evening. We'll start from the top. Good evening, my beauties and bees. Welcome to another episode of Cryptic Corner, where we explore the unexplained, the supernatural, the paranormal and hidden, the mysterious, the alien, the accursed, and the forbidden. I'm your host, Miss Bumblebee, and we are... today is actually the day after the 38th anniversary of Chernobyl. The Chernobyl meltdown. We're going to hear all about it in this video, so I'm not going to give you a preamble to what it is and what it was all about right now. Instead, we'll let the narrator pick it up. But we're going to be looking at in memory of that event. We're going to be looking at some of the bizarre creatures that allegedly crawled out of the rumble of Chernobyl. So let's dive right into it because I'm excited about this episode. I don't know if this is the format today is going to be a little bit different. Where it's like, because I got literally every single one of these I'm going to debunk for you. I went deep and went hard. This week for you guys for Cryptic Corner, because this is the Chernobyl episode should be a special episode. Are we getting more gift subs? What's up with you guys this morning? 5 more gift subs from Captive Desk. You are amazing, Dave. We got Pragmatic Crystal nabbed one, Sumami nabbed one, D nabbed one, Steph nabbed one, unapologetically Chrissy got one. Yeah, it's kind of out in my lurkers too. Hi, Chrissy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for lurking. As a member, you should now have access to the actual Bigfoot walk trackways. So you got those, right? Check that out. You can be a Sasquatch walking along. We also got our gender-affirming moth, the channel mantis, and we got Mothman and the flat earth. So those are all toys for you guys to play with now. All right, but let's not lollygag about this. Let's get into Chernobyl.
The disaster at Chernobyl power station is one of the most tragic events of all time. The explosion itself, as well as the radioactive water, earth, and air poisoning, caused suffering to many people. Despite that, the event has also given birth to many myths and legends about the mutants of Chernobyl. Those who return from the infected area often share their own footage of mysterious creatures, proving their existence. In today's episode, you're going to see the strange and unidentified creatures of Chernobyl, as well as from all around the world. This well-known footage filmed in the area of the power station has been circulating online since a while ago. We see
this well-known footage circulating online from a while ago.
Animal looking like a deer or a moose cross the road and hide in the bushes. The weirdest thing is, it's got no head. But
it does have a head. It's just looking very hard to the left. It does definitely have a head, looking very hard to the left. Like, not even disputably.
Maybe it's just an optical illusion.
You can actually see its ear pop in there for a second.
This tourist walking around...
There we go. This is the one, yeah. Let's start here.
Areas surrounding Chernobyl noticed a weird-looking frog. This tourist walking around the areas surrounding Chernobyl noticed a weird-looking frog and decided to film it on camera. The unusual shape of its jaw is what makes it look so strange.
Very disturbing.
If it was even bigger, the frog would look like an alien from a sci-fi movie.
It almost looks like a frog that's been injured by someone putting like a firecracker in its mouth or something.
But maybe it's not a frog at all.
It is a frog. It's actually, to be specific, it looks like a toad. And it's not from Chernobyl because, as we're going to see right here, this footage comes from Hawaii.
Right, check this frog out. Here we are in Pahoa, Hawaii. And, it's not your average frog.
Pahoa, Hawaii.
Missing a face.
Something got a hold of that frog.
Still alive, somehow. No one knows how it eats. Maybe the bugs just land in its mouth and it swallows them.
No. Looks rough.
Pretty gross, huh?
Yeah, it honestly looks like somebody wounded it. It doesn't look like a mutation or anything on this one. It looks like actually it's been wounded. This animal does not have much longer to live. Unfortunately, yeah. But don't let the truth get in your way of a good time, right? Oh no, don't start playing that. All right. So not from Chernobyl. Off to a great start. So the first one was not what I said. It was just looking to the left, and then I did just literally a moose looking to the left. This one is that one is definitely the frog from Hawaii, right?
This strange fish was caught in the Pripyat River. Its body looks normal, but its head is definitely not okay. It looks more like a pigeon's or even a dolphin's head. Anyhow, you can...
That's not a pigeon, that's a penguin. I'm okay with the dolphin head comment, though. Looks like a beluga, in my opinion, but...
clearly tell this carp doesn't look like a normal fish. Such a head shape has never been observed in fish before. According to scientists, this might have happened due to the radiation that poisoned...
That was for me, by the way. You subscribe to me, not this nonsense. Not this real bizarre nonsense where they don't even do any research on any of the videos they share. Ah!
...poisons everything in the area. This monster was caught in the Pripyat too.
So, just to be clear, this fish is not from Chernobyl either. It's from China. It's a deformed carp. That one, and there's an article about it. Why is this fish with the bird head, or is this a bird with a fish body? This intriguing looking creature has set the internet alight, and this was from a couple years ago, 2018. Because of it has the body of the fish and the head of a bird. The creature, dubbed birdfish, is a carp with a deformed head. Some people on the internet say the fish's head looks like a pigeon or a parrot, while others suggest it appears more like a dolphin. It was reeled in by a number of anglers in the Guizhou, southwest China, reported Guizhou Urban newspaper. Video footage showing it on the ground after being caught gasping for air. According to the report, it was released back into the water. One Facebook user called it Hong Fang. Questions: is this a cross between a carp and a dolphin? No. Those are a mammal and a carp can't breed. Moving right along now.
Of course, no one knows what it is. The mutants got a fish's head, but there are also weird suckers all over its body.
Yeah,
the fishermen were shocked when they pulled it out of the water. They inspected the creature, but
they don't look like these. It's a deep sea fish. Right now it's collapsed, but it's a deep sea fish that can suction onto surfaces. In order to hang on, but it's just collapsed right now because they're not evolved to live in our pressure environment.
but never understood what it really was, even though they tried really hard.
Yeah, and that's the thing about deep sea fish too. They look so weird when you pull them up here because they collapse, they shrivel up. Like either the pressure up here is just not there's just not enough. They just deflate. Yeah, and that's the thing too, John Hudson, about the carp. The one we looked at before this one, the carp are kind of famous for having being able to breed into them different head structures and head shapes and things like that. That's why we get those weird goldfish with the lumpy heads and all that. Good morning, Lena.
These young stalkers, as they call themselves, were just about to finish yet another raid, but came across something real.
I think you can do hugs on here. Let me see. I think it's just hugs, right? Bugbot, do you hug? Yeah, is it or is it just hug? Just singular. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I put these commands in. Let me see. Hug. Yeah, it hugs. There you go. Yep, you can hug BugBot and it'll send you love bugs back. Isn't that sweet? All right. Don't want to...
Really strange. We're just about to finish yet. These young stalkers, as they
Okay.
These young stalkers, as they call themselves, were just about to finish yet another raid, but came across something really strange. The hairy, long-tailed carcass lying in the mud resembled a pig. There was a stamp on it. It had giant teeth and a massive tongue hanging from the mouth. It was something unknown and terrifying. Maybe it had been used for lab tests. How
Now this one really got me. I'm going to tell you right now.
did they even dare to touch it?
So that one really got me. I was like, what the heck? Where's this from? What I could see here, it obviously looked like a prop of some kind from a movie. And I found the full footage, so we'll watch the full footage.
In the dirt road. Yeah.
Okay. Guys in a truck on a dirt road.
In the dirt road. Yeah. Okay, where is it? Yeah, it's up here on the left. This road is stop service right here. That's right. What the hell is that, dude?
There it is. Getting out of the truck. Obviously not in Chernobyl, though. I mean, at least these aren't native Russians. They'd be American tourists in Chernobyl, which, you know, they didn't say anything about that. So
It looks like it just died. Like it did.
yeah, that's the first thing you want to do is stick your fingers in the strange creature's mouth, right? That's how this works.
Jesus.
And look at all the little legs running down the side of it. That's where I'm like, there's got to be some kind of Hawk's gene manipulation going on, right, for a creature like this.
Yes, man. Oh, dude. It's heavy. It looks like a stamp on it.
So the stamp would be the first thing I recognize. That's why I'm kind of like suspicious about the video. You know, obviously the whole video is suspicious. You know, I'm not going to pretend like there's like any kind of evident truth here. The whole video is kind of suspicious. But the big stamp on the side would be the first thing I notice about this. Because, you know, fun fact about living organisms is they don't generally have big stamps on them. The only time that they do is when they're owned by humans. And we mark them. And usually the marks are not this intricate, right? Usually it's like a couple of letters burned onto the skin. Or if it's a tattoo, it might even just be a series of dots on an animal, on its ear or whatever. Someone would have spent hours tattooing this creature in order to make this. And just looking at this creature, I don't know if anybody would want to spend hours tattooing it. It seems like that'd be excessive when just using a code system of dots or dashes would probably be sufficient, or even just using the number, just putting the 18.12 on there might have been a more reasonable option. But no, they went and did a full circle tattoo. They put a heart on there for an animal that obviously no one was ever intending to see. And it says something GM Heartland on the side, right? AGM, I think it is. So, but anyway, this is your first clue that something's amiss here, right? So, AGM Heartland.
Inspected, approved. I can't read this. Category 3. I don't know what the rest says.
Right. So that's that. That's the video. All right. And, you know, went and dive a little bit deeper into it, and I find out that what is AGM Heartland? It's a horror film. Lo and behold, way back in 2010, we have a horror film. What is Neil Blomkamp's AGM Heartland? Here's an intriguing mystery for fans of District 9 director Neil Blomkamp. Included in the iPad edition of the current issue of Wired is a 1-minute teaser titled AGM Heartland. A teaser that arrives with no explanation and no fanfare. All that it included was a simple statement that the video was by Neil Blomkamp. So what is it? It appears to revolve around some sort of government-regulated creature. So a comment on the genetic modification of food supply. Is it a feature, a new short, a web series? Nobody really knows yet, but you can watch it below. And then they kind of just went with it. It's the video that we just watched, by the way. So this is a horror movie prop. All right, let's move right along. Oh.
Yet another creature from the Pripyat River that looks like a fish, but has really big teeth and an uncommon skull shape. At first glance, it looks like a sci-fi monster. Scientists failed to classify the unknown specimen, so they supposed that the fish had mutated in such an ugly way after an exposure to a huge dose of radiation.
All right, we've seen that before. We've seen it before. This is...
Where is it? Okay, it's up here on the left. This road.
Yeah, this is a piece of art from Juan Cabana. Juan Cabana's he's got a baboon. He does taxidermy, right? A lot of sea animal taxidermy. Fiji mermaids, as you know, are half monkey, half fish. Taxidermy together. A lot of manta bats. There's some other mermaid type creatures. Some fairies. Here's one similar to what we just looked at, but with a human face. Humanautica. Here's another one. It's kind of weird. But yeah, and you can tell he uses kind of the same locations too. Where's the wolf fish at though? It was in gallery 3 or 4. Yeah, it's in gallery. If you need to know where it's at, it's in gallery 4 right here. Come look at it. It's well documented that this is an art piece. And yeah, you'll see a lot of these. This one's probably the most famous one that get shared as proof of cryptozoology, but you may see any number of these show up as a claim to be the example of an actual creature that exists. Here's some Gilman-looking heads, like the creature from the Black Lagoon. More traditional Fiji mermaids. Looks like Fiji mermaids might be the forte of the artist, but for obvious reasons, the baboon head on the fish stands out as unique and gets a lot of press. All right.
There's little chance you can come across a two-headed fish, since they normally don't survive in the wild and usually die right after they are born. This short clip shows what looks like a catfish and has got a second head right where its tail is supposed to be. You can see it move, so it's alive and not manufactured. The second head looks completely developed and is just about the size of the first head. It's also got one of its frontal fins.
So that, as far as I can tell, that two-headed fish is real. It's not from Chernobyl. It's just, it's like connected, like cat dog was connected. But as far as I can tell, when it comes to that catfish, though, it's a very bizarre form of polycephaly, where this looks like it's actually maybe from an egg not splitting properly is something that causes this to happen. I'm an identical twin. So an identical twin is caused by one sperm and one egg. So 1 and 1 sperm, 1 egg, hits the egg, and the egg splits in 2, right? And both sides develop as an individual person, right? Sometimes they will split almost all the way, but not quite. and then develop together to whatever degree. It depends on where it splits and how they're conjoined. So what you're looking at here is maybe an example of that. There's not a lot of details on this other than Reddit speculation, which I do. I use a lot of Reddit speculation because Reddit is actually a good place for investigating these things, because you can find links to sources and stuff. A lot of the legwork will have already been done for you if you just go on Reddit and look for pretty much any of these images or videos. That's just some tips. Obviously, you got to source check, because you'll get nonsense on Reddit as well. But that's the way I go about it. Anyway, this isn't Chernobyl, though. It's in Indonesia.
Head looks completely developed.
So let me answer the question here from John before I move on. John Fabiano. So actually, catfish, their anus is not that far back on their body. Like, they have like fairly long tails. So these individuals probably both have an anus. It's probably it looks like it's their tail muscle beyond all their external organs. I may be wrong, though. The smaller one may not have an anus at all. Just based on what I'm seeing here of how much body length it has. The other one definitely would have an anus. Yeah, I don't know, and that might be, this one may be, the head may be vestigial too. It may not need to eat the smaller head. So, but yeah, I would imagine the creature has an anus if it's gotten this big. It's got to have a sufficient waste management system, probably somewhere underneath this section right here. But I don't know if the second head would actually have an anus of its own, and I don't know if it would actually need to eat in order to thrive, because the other one should be pulling in plenty of nutrients for the body. These are bottom feeders, right? Catfish spend most of their time just laying on the bottom, literally just laying there. So it's polycephaly is not such a big issue for them. That's why turtles are another group that can potentially do all right with polycephaly, because they are they're capable of just living a very sedentary life, right?
And is just about the size of the first head. It's also got one of its frontal fins. The owner of this footage claims that what he was able to catch on camera was at least a mysterious anomaly, and maybe even a mutant residing in one of the lakes surrounding.
To me, what this looks like, someone reeling their fishing line in. Am I missing something here?
Catch on camera was at least a mysterious anomaly, and maybe even a mutant residing in one of the lakes surrounding Chernobyl.
This is another one that I really couldn't find any details on to prove the location was in Chernobyl. But regardless, the footage is so non-phenomenonical that I'm not really concerned about not knowing the location, because there doesn't seem to be anything of note happening here. Yes, large catfish can move up into areas like this and bask, especially in the early spring. They'll come up and get some warmth after the spring thaw, when the sun's shining especially. So not unheard of for them to move up into these shallower regions just to bask for a little bit in the shallower water. And obviously dozens of reptiles also will participate in such behaviors. Let me see here. I thought I saw something. I'm always fascinated with twins in which one of them absorbed the other. I think me and my brother tried to absorb each other. I think we may have a split, like on the gender boundary or something, right? Because he's pretty masculine. He really is. He's like I got a beard and a cowboy hat. He likes hunting and all that kind of stuff. We're not, so we're like black and white that way. So yeah, I didn't absorb him. He didn't absorb me. The reason why that could happen, though, is because we at the time of conception, pretty much until we amass enough mutations, we're identical, right? Like we're like the same person. Like you could graft us together, like you could do a skin graft to attach me and my twin brother together, and we'd be able to survive that. Interestingly, and also, but we've amassed mutations since we split though. So once the egg split, we've started going different directions. We were part of a lot of like those twin studies that different schools do, different colleges and things. We took part in Missouri twin study, which ended up being considered kind of questionable with its results and outcomes. Really weird questions we got asked all through our childhood, though, because my parents were paid thousands of dollars to participate in this, right? But we would have to do questionnaires every month, and I'm talking like when we're really little too. About our, like, when I say weird questions, the main ones I remember were all about poop and how we felt when we had to poop, and what we wanted to do when we had to poop, whether we wanted to go hide or whether we wanted to go to the bathroom, whether we wanted to hold it or force it out, and all kinds of weird questions about how we felt about pooping. It was really a bizarre chapter of my childhood. There were hundreds of more questions than that. Those are just the ones that I remember as an adult now, looking back and thinking that was really weird that they were asking me that. Yeah.
Sure what it is, a big catfish, or more likely a snake that had been exposed to...
See, and I think that they're getting maybe hung up on this, the leaf pattern on the fractal wave. See that right there? I think that's why they're going with snake, because they see that leaf pattern, and that's the trees up above hitting that wave and causing the light to reflect that way, or to refract that way. It's when the wave breaks, when a wave rises up that much, it's actually got a lot more air in it, and so it's pocketed with where the light comes through the water and disperses, and then it disperses again, giving it this fractalization that's really interesting when you catch it on camera. And light will do that through a lot of different media too, not just through the water, but through different like fog and smoke and stuff. It'll cause a lot of different patterns. Some of them are swirly and some of them are crosshatched like that.
Radiation and mutated to such a giant size. It might be one of the strange anomalies that are pretty common in the infected area, according to researchers.
But we don't know this area at all, that this was anything to do with Chernobyl. A lot of these videos are just like, oh, this was Chernobyl, and it's not. Like we got Hawaii and China and Indonesia. Let's see. I think whoever asked those questions had a fetish, not shaming. Well, what they would do is they'd send packets to my parents. The questions would actually come from my parents. So like my mom would sit us down like at the kitchen table, and one like individually, and just sit there and ask us questions. And my dad would take the other one and go out and do something with us, and we'd sit there and answer questions. Usually we had like a snack or something. This went on from when we were as far back as I can remember. I remember always doing it, and assuming that all kids did this. Yeah, I don't doubt that there's a thing about it, but it went on until we hit puberty, till we were 13. That's how they documented all that stuff.
And this footage raises a lot of questions. What we see in the clip looks like a newborn offspring of an unknown creature.
It's the Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
It's got 4 extremities, and its skin looks fragile and almost transparent. Its mouth is unproportionally big, with strange stains on it. The user who uploaded the video received many questions about what this creature might be. We can only guess what it will do, what it will eat, and what size it will be. Maybe you can answer these questions. The Canadian...
You think it was a garfish, huh? That, this one moving in the water here was a garfish? Yeah, I mean, if it's a guard, that makes sense.
And this footage
This-
raises a lot of questions. What we see in the clip
So, like, he makes some observations that we're going to use to help identify
looks like
this.
a newborn offspring of an unknown creature. It's got 4 extremities,
Why it's unknown, I don't know, but it does have 4 extremities, which means that, yeah, it's a quadruped, so let's narrow that down. It also looks like it doesn't have any digits on its forearms, but has digits on its hind legs. These look like almost like stubby little wings, so I'm going to say that this is a bird.
and its skin looks fragile and almost transparent.
Which, yeah, because it doesn't have any covering yet.
Its mouth is unproportionally big, with strange stains on it.
Yeah, and yeah, it seems to have a beak. So let's see, what could it be? Oh, it's a baby bird. It's a baby bird. The internet is filled with some interesting content that does not disappoint. From motivational, inspirational pictures and videos filled with the positive to creepy and scary. The internet has it all. After a viral video of a black blob-like creature resembling the Marvel villain Venom surfaced, a scary video of an odd-looking bird resembling like the alien Spawn is making rounds on social media. The video, posted by a page on Twitter called When Animals Attack, showed the newly hatched chick eating from a feeding tube. The appearance of the bird that has weird spots around its mouth and has small teeth on its beak bears a slight resemblance to the Demogorgon character from the popular Netflix series Stranger Things. The video shared on Thursday garnered 49,000. Yeah, blah, blah, but did really well. Apart from posting how scary the bird looks, it's a baby finch. They have those little markings around their mouth to let their moms know that that's their baby. This is a defense against cuckoos. That wanna lay their big eggs in there and push all the babies out. This way, the mom knows which babies to feed by looking for the ones that have the right patterns around the mouth. That's all the babies are to her, basically. Noisy holes with white landing stripes built into it. Yeah, but yeah, definitely a baby bird. Morning, Maya.
The user who uploaded the video received many questions about what this creature might be. We can only guess what it will do, what it will eat, and what size it will be. Maybe you
No, we can't, because we know it's a finch, and we know what size finches get to, and we know what they eat.
can answer these questions. The Canadian who shot this video insists that what he captured on film was a group of scientists handling the remains of either a mermaid or humanoid mutant with fins and a fishtail. He saw it at a lake in the area surrounding Chernobyl.
Okay, not filmed by Canadian, not filmed in Chernobyl, but... Is this almost over so I can debunk it? Yeah, so they load it up and they take it away. Alright, so let's stop there because... Okay, we did this one. Yeah. Alright, real mermaid found next to the river and pond in Poland. Let's see. This is the full video. We're going to watch it. It's only 2 minutes long. Okay, so you got some guys in hazmat suits. Turn the volume down a little bit. It's just traffic sounds on a riverbank. And you pick up the creature. There's 5 of them all together. 5 men in hazmat suits and 2 in emergency respondent gear. And they're examining the organism, which appears to be a mermaid. Gray and with a more like a dolphin-like tail. They're examining the site where it was found at. and discussing probably like you know, the location, the topography and stuff. Yeah, you with me so far? Okay. So, I mean, if you haven't read the title while I'm hanging out here, this. He's got a beard. Look at that. This is a performance art piece as part of a play called Noe. Let's see here. It says it right here. Noe Warzawasi and Warsaw, Poland. This is which is where this is taking place at. Is their mascot? I don't know if you call it mascot. They're the symbol of Warsaw is a mermaid. And the river's famous for this mermaid folklore. So, it's part of the anticipation for the festival in 2000. I think it says the year here. Hold on. Oh, this is the wrong video. Anyway, yeah, it was like 2010. Someone put together this cryptid video of scientists finding the mermaid on the beach and rushing it away to resuscitate it. And it's kind of taken on a life of its own. So, that's what we're seeing here. All right. Moving right along. And we're moving right out of the area of hoaxes and art pieces and into just not knowing what real animals look like.
This is a video by an unknown author that shows strange living organisms. Ever saw them before? They hang down from the ceiling, bearing resemblance to the aliens from the movie of the same name. It's not clear how dangerous these tentacles are, but I would definitely keep away from them. I hope the guy behind the camera knows what he's dealing with.
If you've ever spent any time around the ocean, you might know what these are. If you ever pulled a boat out of the sea, you might know what these are and what they're doing. These are just common barnacles, just barnacles that live on the bottom of boats and on seawalls and things like that. When they're exposed to the air, yeah, they hang down like this from the bottom of boats. But these ones have actually been removed. What they're doing, what you're seeing here, is just they're respirating. They're trying to breathe. They're marine organisms that are, been pulled out of the water, so they're probably desiccating pretty quickly, hanging here, and they're probably also having a lot of problems breathing. So that's why their little feathery tentacles are waving around. They're trying to collect some oxygen.
This clip was shot by two bloggers while exploring some of the abandoned places in the exclusion zone. The guys lifted up a rock and were really surprised.
They're just everything's in the exclusion zone, even if it's not.
To see a giant worm hiding there. It had big eyes and mouth, which is not typical of worms, or at least the species inhabiting that particular area. So supposedly, the guys caught yet another.
Big compound eyes like that would make me think it's probably that this obvious art piece, similar to the art pieces we've looked at already, is supposed to be more like a grub than a worm. Worms generally don't have. You don't think about worms with eyes, at least not like complex compound eyes like what we're seeing here.
Another Chernobyl mutant on camera.
And yeah, just something somebody made here. Nothing to do with Chernobyl either.
And
right.
This creature.
And back to the very beginning, we return to the deer, or to the deer. Oh yeah, not deer. Do we have more not deer?
Looks pretty much like a deer. It passes by and quickly hides off screen. What's unusual about it? Well, this creature does indeed look like a deer, but the shape of its head is really confusing. There have been.
The shape of its head is handsome Squidward. Let me see, handsome Squidward. Which is, in case you didn't know who handsome Squidward is, I'm just gonna pull it up. It's got that going on. Looks like this. So let's watch it again.
And a lot of theories about this creature put forward by the internet users. Usual about it, well, this creature does. And this creature looks pretty much like a deer. It passes by and quickly.
And what we're seeing here is like deformities in the antlers, right? That make it look like from that angle that it's handsome Squidward, but it's not handsome Squidward. Sorry to disappoint. If you thought this really was, you can see the define. Actually, see here where the antler is defined from the rest of the head. So the bottom jaw of handsome Squidward is the actual deer's muzzle. The rest of this nonsense is just deformed antler, which you can get some really wicked deformed antler. Let me see if I can find a good picture of that. Deformed deer antlers, yeah. A lot of weird ones. A lot of peculiarities. I just tripped over my own tongue saying that word. Let me see. Deformed. Yeah. Look at this. So you got like, you can get clustered. You can get big wads. You can get helmets of antler. Look at this weird shit going on right here. This cluster. Yeah, antlers can do all kinds of weird stuff. In special circumstances. Sometimes it's a sign of bad health, and sometimes it's just a bad set of antlers. Just they shed them annually, so not every year can be a winner. All right, so moving right back into this.
Quickly hides off screen. What's unusual about it? Well, this creature does indeed look like a deer, but the shape of its head is really confusing.
And maybe there's a species of deer that have antlers that have evolved to look like handsome Squidward because it's the optimal way to get bitches, but I don't know.
Been a lot of theories about this creature put forward by the internet users. Most of them agree on the fact that this is a deer that has mutated into something really ugly. This puppy with a nose anomaly was born in Argentina. His elongated nose
At least they're not claiming this one's in Chernobyl. At least they're not saying this is in Chernobyl. They're saying it's Argentina, which, yeah, this is the result of, like, pesticides and things like that can result in birth defects like this, unfortunately.
Looks more like a tapirs trunk, and the puppy's appearance reminds me of Dobby the elf from Harry Potter movies. The owner was shocked when he first saw this strangely looking little guy among the rest of his dogs.
Hold on.
A lot of theories about these
creatures. So we got some dissent. Yay, Robert! Thank you for giving a different opinion. So we got the thought that this could be a bighorn sheep, or some other montane ovid, I'm sure. So let's explore that concept. Because I like the science. Let's see, bighorn sheep. The problem I have with the bighorn sheep as a hypothesis, and not saying that it's a hard rule, but I'm just going to present it to you here, is proportions. For a male, males are generally pretty stocky if they have the big spiraling horns, right? They're usually pretty stocky and have shorter legs. So I just, in my opinion, looking at this,
it looks pretty much like a deer. It passes by and quickly hides off screen. What's unusual?
I was talking over him. Too long and narrow, in my opinion. Just a thought, but yeah, I absolutely love it when people give different thoughts on what they think it could be. Because this is something I looked into too. Y'all go down the same. I only attract smart people in my side chat who like to debunk this stuff. Apparently, someone a couple of times just in the last few weeks there's been someone who gets my content, apparently doesn't watch it and assumes that I'm like a woo channel and bitches about me being a woo channel. Somebody actually it was yesterday. It was just yesterday. I got a message that said, this from some chat. It was like, YouTube recommending a grown-ass man peddling delusions about deer. And that's all the comment was. And it was on my not deer video, which is, you know, if anybody who's a friend or frequent visitor to the Hive knows that I debunk, you know, these ideas, not peddle them. So they didn't even watch it. They just saw my thumbnail, which was awesome for that video, probably one of my best. Clicked on it, saw that I was a trans woman, and got mad. And assumed that because the title of the video was kind of clickbaity, it's like, oh, a real cryptid, because as we all know, the real not deer, as discussed in that video, is the musk deer, the Russian or taiga musk deer, which is actually not a deer at all, but closely related to the goats you see on screen right now. But they didn't watch the video enough to learn that that's what the title was talking about. They just jumped to the conclusion that I was saying that, yes, there's supernatural creatures that pretend to be deers. Or pretend to be deer? I guess deers, if it's talking about different species of deer. But yeah, bighorn sheep, I don't know about the proportions, especially in the frontal section around the neck. Because bighorn sheep have that... No, a female bighorn sheep, they do have a narrower neck like that, right? See that? They have... she has a longer, thinner neck. She doesn't do the headbutting that Poppy does. And they need those thick necks to absorb the blows from doing some headbutting with the other males. Now, just and then if we get back to if it was a female bighorn sheep, then it would have, you know, the atypical female bighorn sheep, smaller horns, not the big globular things. Thank you so much. Yeah, and there's other species of sheep in both Europe and Asia and North America. So there's a possibility that there's several cervids or ovids that this could potentially be. Absolutely. Yeah, and I know just in North America alone, we have the doll sheep, the stone sheep, the Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep, the desert sheep. I think I'm missing one. There's 5. There's 5 species of sheep native to North America. The one that lives in the Badland. Dang it. Anyway, then we have a goat too. There's and I think there's only one species of mountain goat in North America. But then they're over on the other side of the Pacific in the Himalayas. There's mountain sheep too. They got like the blue sheep and stuff up there. The ancestors of domestic sheep too. MAGA sheep.
The internet users, most of them agree on the fact that this is a deer that has mutated into something really ugly.
Now there's definitely, and that's another thing, Sumami. You're right. Or was it just bad lighting? It could be, maybe not bad lighting, but something tangled in the antlers as well. Like if it got a bundle of foliage or whatever stuck in its antlers, like this could happen too. Or the head of a rival, because that happens on occasion.
This puppy with a nose anomaly was born in Argentina. His elongated nose looks more like a tapirs trunk, and the puppy's appearance reminds me of Dobby the elf from Harry Potter movies. The owner was shocked when he first saw this strangely looking little guy among the rest of his dog's pups. He took the puppy to the vet, but they couldn't figure out what was wrong. However, local journalists are sure that the mutation was caused by pesticides used for...
Well, I wouldn't trust just journalists saying. I would say this is good cause for investigation of the water, though, especially the groundwater in the area.
Agriculture in the area. Yet they admit they've never seen anything like this before.
But mutations do just happen, too, so...
A Chinese woman believes she discovered an unknown life form during her trip to Chernobyl. She filmed this disturbing creature.
That's like a hairworm. Horsehair worms. They can be in bundles. I don't know if we can find a video of one of them. Sorry, I skipped over this one. I meant to find a video source for it, just to give you an idea what they look like in the wild. Let's see, is there a video? Here we go. Yeah, we'll watch this one. There's one that you want to see the one crawl out of the praying mantis because they're parasites. I'll show you guys the one crawling out of the praying mantis. Yeah, we can do that. I'm gonna watch it on. Just try to decide which one to pull up. Yeah, here we go. There's not really a lot to them. Very simple organisms. But they will like wad up in bundles to breed. But yeah, they crawl out of insect butts. Like I have a video on my channel of them when crawling out of a praying mantis, but I digress. Okay, we've done that. And the mermaid, bighorn sheep, horned deer, yeah, barnacles. All right, moving right along.
In the area surrounding the notorious Red Forest. Ever since the video was uploaded, people on the internet have constantly been talking about it. You can see in the clip how an unknown clue-like creature crawls on the sand, constantly changing its shape. It would look like a bunch of tangled wire if it wasn't moving. A truly unique creature was
tangled in something.
Born on a farm in Croatia. It's an 8-legged baby goat with both male and female genitals. The owner calls it a wonder of nature and gladly shows it to journalists.
It's a sign, I'm sure. It's a sign from the dark one that our time has come, my hive, to rise up.
At first, the farmer thought his nanny had given birth to twins, but when he looked closer, he thought he'd gone insane. Then he took the baby goat to the vet. The doctors concluded that the 8-legged goatling is
Spider goat! Spider goat! Now they confirmed it's a spider goat. I think spider goat is a thing too. Well, they did, you know, this when it comes to spider goats, it reminds me of the goats they genetically altered to produce silk from their milk ducts. Is there multi-legged goat mythology? Mythological goat with many legs. No. So I know there's like horses with multiple legs, like Sleipnir, which was Thor's, or not Thor's, but Odin's horse, right? So maybe there was goats too?
is in fact a pair of underdeveloped conjoined twins, though some skeptics believe that the mutation was caused by environmental pollution. In this video, you can see a clue of worms moving as a single organism and moving really fast. It was filmed by a Dane in his backyard and put up online. Interestingly, it
Filmed with the potato, as you are wont to do. I did not eat my sibling, though. That's the thing. Everybody, people often like to cast aspersions in my direction, but they don't realize that there was a point in time where I could have legally, and I was fully capable of eating and consuming my sibling in the womb, and I did not do it. I chose to let him live and not to consume him. I don't get any kind of credit for that. Yeah, this is filmed with a potato.
opinions divided on what it really is. Some people think it's an alien organism, while others believe it to be a mutant that had escaped from a lab. But there's also those who are convinced that this is just a bunch of worms trying to protect themselves from predators.
Kind of close. Close. This is red millipedes doing their swarming behavior. Pretty cool. This is what they look like when you get up close to them. Red millipedes are native to southern India. They live in these little clusters like this. And they move in a big cluster like that too. Neat little critters. Neat little critters.
Here's one more mysterious creature that doesn't look like any other animal, but maybe like a giant maggot looking for its hole. I wonder how it
You got it.
feels to be so close to where such weird creatures reside.
Yep, this is a rat tail maggot. They look like this usually when they're in their more damp environment. But they can move on land too. They desiccate pretty quick, but yeah. Same creature.
And this strange life form was discovered by tourists in the area near Chernobyl. No one knew
No, it
what
wasn't.
species it was.
This was not found near Chernobyl. This is a sea star.
Most viewers concluded it was a starfish, because it looks like one. But it's still a mystery why it was found in an environment so unlike its natural habitat. Marine
wasn't.
biologists
It wasn't found in an environment. It was not found in Chernobyl. Nothing you've shown here today has been found in Chernobyl.
have failed to come to a conclusion as to what species it relates to. Some of the commenters claim this is a mutant that morphed into such a weird life form due to water pollution. That's all for today. Hit that like button to support us. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit that bell icon too. And watch our other videos. You can find the links in the description. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Sumami just sent us some more annelids being cringy and weird. This is like a sewer cam, like being fed into there. Those are actually worms. That big pulsing glob right there. Hey, look at the date on this, Sumami. Seriously, everybody, look at the date. You know, I did not even yesterday when I was trying to decide which video I was going to. Can you find caterpillars that display that behaviors? Well, yes, you can. Talking about the swarming behaviors of the red millipedes. Yeah, some caterpillars do that. Usually there's silk involved, though. That's how you know it's. That's how I knew it wasn't. That it was the millipedes and not caterpillars. Just so you know. But yeah, this was filmed today in 2009. Isn't that so bizarre? And then yesterday when I was trying to decide what to watch, I was looking at Chernobyl videos because you'll see why when I get to my, because I was, I'll just give you spoilers. Now we're talking about pigs and Breeze Bestiary later on today. And I was watching, some more news, which we're going to laugh about later on too. And, he was talking about Chernobyl and I'm like, you know, Chernobyl would be a good thing to cover on Cryptic Corner. Wonder when it happened. Because it could be topical, and it was literally on that day. I was like, "Holy crap! How did this happen? How did I?" You gotta usually ask Chat GPT about it, and I'm like, "When did you?" Yeah, let me pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up right now. And I swear to God, I didn't cheat or anything. Are you gonna share? Maybe. It's not going to share it with me. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. It's like coming up blank. Anyway, yeah, I said, hey, when did what date did Chernobyl happen? And it's like, on April 26th, 1986. I'm like, are you joking? That's today's date. And it's like, yeah, it is today's date. Now, here Sumami is sending me another video with today's date on it from 2009 now. It's Signs from the Universe. Maya, you can cover this on Bad Science Sunday. All my conspiracy about Chernobyl and how it's all coming back. All coming together. Good morning, Mark. This is wormy, though. Super wormy. Not in Chernobyl, though. In Cameron Village. They're so weird looking. And they get like a membrane on the outside of it too, so it looks like one solid organ. So weird. The block up pipes though is where you run into the problem. That's where plumbers get to deal with them. And they'll get in there in the sewage pipe. And so they move as a single unit. It's so bizarre. It's living poo. Yeah, I could kind of see that. Weird stuff. But yeah, since we're on the topic of Chernobyl though, I didn't want to just leave this with no science at all. So yeah, animals are reacting. So the frogs are not turning gay, but they are turning black. They are doing a race swap. Several animals that live in Chernobyl's exclusion zone, a 30-mile cordon where public access is forbidden due to contamination. The frogs are among several species that have undergone genetic mutations in Chernobyl. The explosion at Chernobyl, it was more of a meltdown than an explosion, but okay. The explosion at Chernobyl's nuclear power plant was one of the worst industrial disasters in history. After the meltdown in 1986, the area was abandoned by humans, but many animals remained in the Chernobyl exclusionary zone, a 30-mile cordon, where public access was forbidden due to contamination. There were fears that all life will die in the region due to radiation, but in the past few decades, many species have actually thrived, adapting to the unique threat. Several studies have shown that these animals have begun to display differences from those elsewhere, with some of them developing distinct characteristics. In 2016, researcher Pablo Buraco and German Rizzolo began examining the way the eastern tree frogs were responding to radiation in the Chernobyl area. As per Discover magazine, normally these frogs are bright green in color, but in the area around the nuclear plant, their skin has turned black. Researchers discovered that the melanin responsible for the dark color in various species can actually temper the negative effects of ultraviolet radiation, which is true. That's why humans that live closer to the equator evolve more skin with more melanin, have more success in those regions, because the sun is radiation and melanin helps your body to repel the radioactive waves. The same thing would be true to some extent with radiation from a nuclear meltdown. In other words, potentially having more melanin in your skin is going to give you some degree, at least, for resistance to radiation poisoning. The discovery intrigued the two researchers, who expanded it to analyze the skin color of frogs captured from 12 ponds, including in areas that were most radioactive. In all, the researchers analyzed more than 200 frogs and found that those from high radiation areas are much darker on average, said Discovery magazine. In the same year, Tim Musso, a biologist at South Carolina University, published a review of 12 cases, which include everything from pine trees to grasshoppers and voles. They found that bacteria in Chernobyl swallows is more resistant to damage caused by the induced radiation. Last year, a study published. That's what I'm going to start doing from now on. I'm just going to, instead of saying study published, I'm just going to say established. Last year, established in Science Advances gave a glimpse into how long-term radiation exposure affects living beings. The wild dogs living in the area underwent genetic mutations, the research team found. They said the dogs from the power plant in the Chernobyl city are genetically distinct as per an ABC News report. The team added that more research will reveal how much radiation contributed to the genetic differences. Earlier this month, a study found that the wolves living in Chernobyl zone have altered immune systems and developed the ability to fight cancer. These animals, which are from their counterpart outside the region, could prove to be the key in helping humans fight deadly diseases. The study further said, as per the IFL, I fucking love science, yeah, and CEZ wolves were exposed to 11.28 millirems of radiation daily, more than 6 times the legal safety limits for humans. Yeah, let's actually, I did have that pulled up. Let me see here. What was it? Wolves of Chernobyl. Yeah, this is fairly recent. I had a shorter one. It was... Here we go. Yeah. This one. This is really cool. You guys know I love wolves, so. Mutant wolves that roam the human-free Chernobyl exclusion zone could be the key to helping humans fight cancer. Mutant wolves. Yeah. I don't know about this song, no. 5-star song. The wild animals have managed to adapt and survive in high levels of radiation that have plagued the area after the nuclear reactor at the Chernobyl power plant exploded in 1986. Was it an explosion?
The large reason why these animals seem to be persisting in high densities or a high abundance within the exclusion zone is because of the absence of humans. As you drive around the exclusion zone, you're overcome by all the lush nature. It's really an eerie reminder of the tragic human impact that occurred there back around 30 years ago.
It's almost 40 years since the nuclear disaster. Wildlife has reclaimed the area, including packs of wolves that seem to be unaffected by the chronic exposure to radiation. Decade-long study from Princeton University has monitored how these wolves have evolved to survive, adapt to their radioactive environment, which has produced promising data.
The wolf population says a lot about an entire ecosystem. As the top predators here, wolves are an indicator of the radioactivity across all of Chernobyl. A radio collar will enable the team to keep track of its movements. Face masks matter now. The wolf's fur is almost certainly radioactive. Simple exposure to this low level is not the problem. But
this could be an awesome horror movie concept, the radioactive wolves of Chernobyl. No one's really run with that. They never go to Chernobyl as the setting for a horror. It's always zombies or mutant humans. But freaking wolves, man. Wolves and boars.
If Barbara and Christoph ingested any radioactive hairs, they would be poisoned.
Scientists have learned that wolves are exposed to 11.28 millirems of radiation daily for their lifespan, more than 6 times the legal safety limit for humans. The Chernobyl wolves' immune system appeared different than normal wolves, similar to those of cancer patients going through radiation treatment. The research could be the key to examining how gene mutations in humans cause the disease and could increase the odds of surviving cancer. So, yeah, the mutant monsters of Chernobyl are not all that bad, are they?
Although on the surface they appear very healthy, it doesn't imply that there aren't more subtle genetic effects, and that's an important area that I think we need to continue to explore with future research down the road.
You think they have a higher rate of like birth defects, maybe? I don't know. What do you all think? Chernobyl, 38 years later. We'll revisit this in 2 years when it has its 40-year anniversary. We will revisit Chernobyl, okay? Don't let me forget in 2026 that I owe you guys a full update on Chernobyl and all the monsters that dwell in there. Plus, there's other stuff attached. So, like I said, there's footage of alleged people, mutant people that live in Chernobyl that we could cover. There are obviously there's ghosts that are alleged to haunt the meltdown site and the surrounding region. There are, and then of course there's the famed Blackbird of Chernobyl, which is like a Mothman-like character that was sighted at the disaster itself. So a lot of different variable characteristics are associated with Chernobyl. It's a treasure trove of supernatural, paranormal, and unexplained claims. So it's right up there for coverage on Cryptic Corner. But what do you think? Do you think that these creatures from Chernobyl are going to turn into bizarre human-destroying mutants? Do you think that that we're going to get more information on how to fight cancer from the wolves and various other organisms that roam this region? What do you think of all the creatures that I debunked today? Did you disagree with me about any of those, the identity of any of those? Let me know in the comments down below. And please remember to be kind, take care, and we'll see you next time. All right.